It's moving right along. As you can see, we got all the fertilizer put out. And I have to share this PTO shaft between that mower sitting right up there and that fertilizer spreader. The guy that had that thing had a little tiny tractor with little short arms on it, and he had cut the PTO shaft off so short that, you know how they slide in and out like that? If you lifted that thing up on this tractor, it'd pull apart. So found out we could use this one. That worked out great. And while I had it off, I got it all greased up, which brings me to the next thing I wanted to show off. I bought this thing into 2017. Saw them being showcased on a couple of channels. It's called Lock and Lube. And if you ain't bought you one of these things, man, you need to. This thing's nice. Like, for example, down here, I squeeze that to make that come out. Get it to line up on there, turn it loose, wiggle it a little bit, and it's locked on there. Now I'm free to use both hands to operate this and go at it. And I know this thing's dry, so it's going to take a lot of grease. And I'm not struggling trying to hold that thing on there. And it's, as you can see, there it goes, start to come out there. Rotate that a little bit. Just a little more in there. A little more. Grease. Keep things greased. If you don't, well, they wear out. Alright, then you just grab that. It comes off right there like that. I like this thing. Next one's right here. Put it on there right there like that. I can stand up here now. I don't have to be all crawled up under here and operate this thing. I hear grease squeezing in there. Yep, there it comes. Yep, that's plenty. And get it loose. I won't bore you with a real long video of this tool, but that showed you I didn't have to crawl under there and hold that thing on there. And I just noticed the ball didn't come back out on that grease fitting. In other words, if you look careful, you can see the grease squirting back out of it. It's under pressure in there. I better find a grease fitting in my grease fitting pile and change that out. Or, okay. Anyhow, nice tool, Lock and Lube. Highly recommend it. Bought mine at the end of 2017. Used it all 2018, all 2019. Can't find any real problem with it, other than there are two grease fittings on the combine that this piece right here is too long. I can't bend that enough like that to get it in there, so I have to take it off and put the old style thing back on it. But other than that, great tool. If you ain't got one, get one. Okay, got all the fertilizer out. I'm gonna finish greasing this thing up. I went, across some land, and I hit a few wet spots, but a little Ford pulled right on through it. You can see a little mud on the tires there. And I'm now tempted to go see what happens if I try to take that. Now this thing's set wrong. I'm going to straighten the gains out. That's way aggressive. The last time I used this is when the bearing locked up on the heavy offset in 2018, and I parked it and grabbed this and finished disking this field and planted soybeans. Yeah, it hadn't been used. But anyhow, changed those so they're not so aggressive. Well, I got my fertilizer out. I got this thing together. You know, this disc is actually about the perfect size disc for that little 48 horsepower tractor. Pulls it just fine. I decided, since I'm so far behind on doing anything out here, that I would go ahead and set the gains with the smallest amount of angle. So you can see that it's got a little bit of angle there, and that one a little bit of angle there. Ground's kind of wet. It's wet. You know, there ain't no denying that. I'm not cutting deep. I don't want to cut deep. I just want to break up this surface stuff. But I am tearing it up just a little bit. And so far, I don't have any big dirt clods hanging up on my disc blades. This disc, bought cheap, $800 used, no scrapers. Yeah, I know, go hunt them down. But anyhow, it's not something I've done. This disc is too little for that 4020. 4020 don't even know it's back there, and it's just drinking fuel. And this thing, it's real economical on fuel. So anyhow, let's go for a ride. Well, I finished that field, what I'd set out to do on it. I kind of stayed out of this low spot down on this end. It's kind of wet, left it alone. But I got across the rest of it. It's a 5-acre field. I guess it's probably 3/4 of an acre that I decided I'd stay out of. So I had a nice ride. Little Ford sounded good, pulled good, ran good. Those LED lights work great. I think the ones on the back, I could angle them up a little more, but they work just fine. I think I'm gonna go eat dinner now. I'm kind of hungry. It's been a good day. Got the 2 objectives that I set out to do done. We'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.